Hello guys, and welcome back to WCW Returns. I am the Basement Booker. We are back here for another Tuesday night ignition. As the last one had stated, we are on the road to Fall Brawl. Some very exciting stuff, especially here on this episode. I think you'll find very interesting. Going towards Fall Brawl. Some matches will be made here tonight that will help kind of start getting the card going here. We are now we have this week all booked up. We have one more week after this, and then it's the pay-per-view. So, not a lot of time in between Bash at the Beach and Fall Brawl. But let's not underestimate, some of these storylines are picking up a lot of traction, as well as the implementation of the new guys coming in that I think will be very exciting for some viewers here. So I guess without further ado, let's jump right into the show here. So in a poor pre-show match, Mr. Anderson defeats Paul London with a mic check. London was off his game. Anderson at 46, London at 37. Just kind of threw these guys on the pre-show just to kind of get them some ring time. And a terrible pre-show match, Harry Smith defeats Psychosis in 6:38 with a running power slam. Smith 34, Psychosis 30. Harry Smith is so difficult at getting ratings up for some reason. Rating of 36. So let's get to the main show here. So Mick Foley comes down to the ring and says, look, we are at the point right now, we are 2 weeks away from Fall Brawl, and I feel we need to start getting things rolling here. We have our WCW Championship match, but everything else is kind of up in the air. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to book 2 matches tonight. Both matches, the winners of these 2 matches will go on to challenge the US Champion and the Tag Team Champions at Fall Brawl. So the first matchup that I would like to book tonight is Chris Hero versus RVD. The winner will challenge MVP for the United States Championship at Fall Brawl. So that's a big match to open the night. But I'm not done. I also, since the Young Bucks and Motor City Machine Guns can't keep their hands off each other in any way, shape, or form when they're getting tag title matches, it'll be the Young Bucks versus the Motor City Machine Guns tonight in a tag match where whoever loses is banned from ringside at the pay-per-view to stop interference. So, Mick Foley laying down the law tonight. 2 big matches, very big implementations going towards championships at Fall Brawl. So we opened the show in about that decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. The Young Bucks defeated the Motor City Machine Guns in 10:21 when Matt Jackson defeat Alex Shelley by pinfall using an underhand tactic. Both teams show chemistry. The crowd got hotter. Sabin at 48, Shelley at 56, Matt Jackson 64, Nick Jackson at 65. So the Young Bucks will be challenging the WCW Tag Team Champions, Kendrick and London, for the WCW Tag Team Championships. And let's not forget the little caveat here. The Motor City Machine Guns are banned from ringside. So that is something to look very forward to at the pay-per-view. And Nick Jackson is improving in performance, so that's always good. And a 58, which I expect nothing less from these 2 teams. After the match, Brian Kendrick and Paul London stand on the stage as they look down at 2 guys who they've already faced for the Tag Team Championships in the Young Bucks and realize that they will be facing them one more time at Fall Brawl. And about that decent reaction from the crowd but subpar wrestling, Stu Sanders versus Shima Zion at 7:40 by pinfall. Stu Sanders off his game. They don't click, which is unfortunate. Stu Sanders at 49, Shima Zion at 38. Not much really going on here. But post-match, Stu Sanders cuts a promo saying, all this talk about Fall Brawl and all these big names that WCW is thinking about bringing in and all this nonsense, but Stu Sanders doesn't have a match at Fall Brawl, and I think that is just pure robbery. Why can't you put the best guy on the card? on the pay-per-view. And this is when Mick Foley's music hits, and he interrupts and announces that Jushin Liger has been signed to WCW and will be at WCW Fall Brawl. And he goes, "Now, Stu Sanders, why did I interrupt you and announce this now? Well, because at Fall Brawl, it will be Jushin Liger versus Stu Sanders." So in a shocking, absolutely shocking turn of events here, Jushin Liger is in WCW and will be going one-on-one with Stu Sanders at Fall Brawl. What an unbelievable match between two international, while Jushin Liger is an international icon, Stu Sanders is a very well-known international superstar. And Mick Foley is pulling out all the stops for WCW Fall Brawl. After this promo is done, Bobby Roode comes down to the ring, does his usual stick, talking about how he is, last week he made Rhino look stupid, and he would like to formally announce to everybody in the world that Bobby Roode has been cleared of all injuries, all anything that can keep him out of the ring. So next week, Bobby Roode returns to the ring right before Fall Brawl. So, Bobby Roode next week will be in the ring. Rating of 69, not bad. He looked good. In a terrible match, Marty Scurll defeats Amazing Red in 7-10 with a graduation. Amazing Red was off his game. That's unfortunate. 41 for Scurll, Red a 30. No improvements, but post-match, Cody Rhodes cuts a promo on Marty Scurll saying, "You know what, kid? I was a little shocked last week when you decided to attack me, but you know what? I wasn't I'm not mad at you for it. No. See, people think back when Cody Rhodes first came into professional wrestling, I took out a veteran of myself in Hardcore Holly. And you know what? I understand where you're coming from, Marty. So this is what we're going to do. No longer will you be attacking me from behind. At Fall Brawl, it will be Cody Rhodes versus Marty Scurll." So we have another one-on-one match booked for Fall Brawl, as it will be the formerly dashing one Cody Rhodes versus Marty Scurll. So that'll be interesting. Moving on from that. So this is the challenge, and Scurll accepts it. So the match has been made for Fall Brawl. Cody Rhodes versus Marty Scurll. In a decent match, Chris Hero and RVD go to a draw at 11:38 when a double disqualification during the match as MVP runs in and attacks both men. Chris Hero with a rating of 49, RVD of 48. So the whole point of this match was to find out who MVP was going to face at Fall Brawl. Instead, in natural MVP fashion, he interrupts the match, trying to make sure nobody gets to face him at Fall Brawl and causes a double disqualification. So we don't have a number one contender for MVP's United States Championship. Next week, Mick Foley is going to have to make some type of announcement here to figure out who will face MVP at Fall Brawl. And Chris Hero's improving again, so that's good. And a rating of 48. Not bad. We get another video package highlighting Bram, and that Bram is coming to WCW. I'm very excited to see what Bram can do here. I don't know where or when Bram will show up, but when he does, his impact will surely be felt. We get a promo from Aaron Stevens talking about how great he is and how he still has not heard anything from Roderick Strong, whether he accepts his challenge or not for Fall Brawl, and he displays how great he is by what he did to Johnny Gargano last week, and that Johnny Gargano has asked for a rematch against him, and he doesn't understand why Johnny Gargano wants to put himself through this agony once again. In a decent bout, Aaron Stevens defeats Johnny Gargano in 10:25 by pinfall with an idolizer. Gargano is off his game, Stevens at 60, Gargano at 45, and no improvements. So back-to-back weeks, Aaron Stevens has defeated Johnny Gargano. to prove his superiority over these indie darlings. But post-match, in a shocking return, Roderick Strong comes in, attacks Aaron Stevens, and accepts the challenge from that he was laid out a couple weeks ago by Aaron Stevens, and now will go on and face him at Fall Brawl. So Roderick Strong is back after missing 2 weeks due to Aaron Stevens after his vicious attack on him just after the pay-per-view. So another great singles bout has been added to Fall Brawl. 57 rating there, not bad. So in the main event, in a decent match, Rhino defeats MVP at 9:39 when MVP was disqualified when Bobby Roode ran in and attacked Rhino. Rhino 64, MVP with a 54 and Sterling is advanced. No rating improvements. This is just a match I wanted to have as a good main event, where no guy gets buried in any way, but also puts both people in a great situation. Both guys are protected due to the Bobby Roode run-in, so that's good. And a 62 rating for my U.S. champion #1 contender is not bad. And to end the show, Bobby Roode, after the disqualification, lays out Rhino again, hits his finisher on Rhino, and stands over him proudly holding up the WCW Championship. So back-to-back weeks now, Bobby Roode has stood tall over Rhino going into Fall Brawl. But we still have one more week left before Fall Brawl as we go into the go-home show. A lot of developments this week. We have a lot of new matches for Fall Brawl. We got Aaron Stevens and Roderick Strong now booked. Cody Rhodes versus Marty Scurll now booked. The WCW Tag Team Championships will now be the Young Bucks versus Kendrick and London. And in a shocker, Stu Sanders will now face international icon Jushin Liger in a singles bout at Fall Brawl. But let's end up with this show here. How'd we do? We got a rating of a 69 and it increased our popularity in 18 regions. So big popularity boost there. But like I say in every video, guys, I just want to reiterate, anything you want to put in the comments that you want to see here in WCW, please do. If you like the video, obviously please like it. But also, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button in the corner. The better following I get on this one, obviously I will continue. And obviously come up maybe with more TEW content. But I'm really starting to fall in love with this WCW one because this is all natural ideas that I've come up with. Nothing that's really been done, I would say, yet. So it's fun to come up with things that haven't been really done yet in the wrestling world. But next show will be the go home, and then we'll be going to Fall Brawl live on pay-per-view. So look forward to that. But until then, I will see you then.